Hello and welcome back, if you've been here before, to Anti-Hero Gaming. I am your host, Joey. Um, I put out a couple of new videos already for the new Webgrave update here in WITCHFIRE, but I failed to put the one up I should have before these two, and that's an explanation of the entire update uh, and what it entails, how it helps a new player and even helps us along. The whole new onboarding experience is excellent. I think it was needed, and it came out pretty well. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and start Penitent Level 1 like it was a brand new game. So, no more do you show up to the Hermatorium. So, it looks kind of like this now. Let's get Penitent 5. Here we go. See, already you're going, that looks a little different. And there you have it. You immediately show up to Hidden Grove, an area on the map called Outskirts. This is the Outskirts map. It's not a map that you can go to through a portal. You have to slide up and down, or climb up and slide down, climbing gear from the Hermatorium to get here, even though we're starting here now. So let's check it out. You have your basics and aim and stuff, so you do your normal thing you could with Ronnie the Revenant over there at the Hermatorium. Except now, it's a bit more, like hands-on, I would say. So it's pretty nifty. You have some room to run back here and to collect some witchfire and stuff. Check out the new area here. Well, there was some witchfire somewhere around here. You can harvest this witchfire, large chunk, cluster, whatever. This map, the Outskirts map, will allow you to get a little bit of trigger time with new weapons and stuff as well. So the whole onboarding experience now has in fact changed. It's much more hands-on and explains things much better. Okay, M for the map. Let's check out the map and kind of shows you the direction you're going in here, and climbing gear, and ammo, and dangerous, and extremely, and Hermit's Passage. Reaching it requires climbing gear. And sliding. Here's a double jump. And here's what happens when you get damage. You can use that elixir to heal yourself. So it's much more hands-on, which I really like. Oh, there's a whole new prologue going on here. Okay. Here's the coolest part of it all. This right here. Dash and aim. The first thing the astronauts decided to do was make this sentence, which is probably the best sentence so far in any beginning they've ever thought about doing for this game. Dash is the burst of unnatural speed. The, and it's highlighted kinda, essential evasive ability. That's everything in this game. Veteran players know that sound of a musketeer preparing to fire means you better move your butt out of the way. So, to help you along your way, they've come up with these little things here that make noise just before they shoot you. So you can dash out of the way of them, which I think is really nifty. Also increases range when you ADS with your gun. They say that as well. Okay, let's go ahead and get this one. And one more right there. Okay. Collect climbing gear. A long rope, chalk, and basic climbing tools. Supplies left behind. And we have some ammo. Why didn't you pick it up, Joey? Well, pro tip. If you're in combat and it's near an ammo chest, but you're kind of on the fence about it, open up the crate and let it all fall out like that. See, because now if you got to run through it and not burn a lot of time, like so, you can just run through it, hold down F, and you've grabbed ammo. You don't have to wait for the chest to actually open. So you'll save some time doing that. And here you're going to get your first Arcana. And, okay, nothing to see here. And you can mark the map now with what's called the waypoint. They put this in long ago, so you can hit F, and I've put an X there. And on my mini map, you can see that I can head in that direction now. Woohoo! I ducked on you. Nifty. Coming up on that X that I put on the mini map, so that must be the next area objective I want to go. Okay. And it is. So after you wipe these guys out, you're going to get your first bead for the rosary. I'll explain all that as we get to it. So you'll collect it here. Ammo preservation bead. Firing occasionally doesn't consume ammo. Nifty. And some corpse wax. What do I do with that? I'll show you. Well, maybe not. I don't really cover a lot of that incense thing. I don't use it, but you know, it's a pretty cool feature. All right, we're done farting around here. There is something else I need to mention to you. If you're starting a new, fresh, whole new prologue here, you're at level 1 or level whatever, shadow, whatever you start with, you're going to need to find a few things. One of them is going to be a sanctuary key. You're going to need to locate that in order to get into the sanctuary room at the Hermatorium. The other thing you're going to need to acquire are mirror shards. 3 of them. One of them you will find hidden somewhere here on the outskirts map. It's not that hard to find. You'll find it. The other one you will find in the Hermatorium. The last one you will find in Island of the Damned. So you're going to need to get all those 3 in order for you to put together the magic mirror at the Hermatorium. And that's where Workshop 2.0 comes into play. That's a whole new mirror thing, and it's fantastic for low-level players like myself who rarely play above level 10. Because I can do research now on weapons and different items and spells and things, and I can still be at level 1. I have access, almost full access to the guns. I mean, it's a fantastic thing. Moving right along in the rain, we are getting ready to head down to the Hermatorium. But before we do, we are going to go over something that the team has also put into WITCHFIRE, which is this. The new handbook. The game handbook is another fantastic tool, all part of the whole new onboarding experience that gives you all the information you're going to need to play the game. There are a few things they don't really talk about. You're going to have to learn on your own. One of them is sound. WITCHFIRE has fantastic sound, and that sound will keep you alive. If you know how to dodge, you know how to use cover, and you're being fairly tactical with your attacks and your regressions, if you're using sound to your advantage, chances are you're gonna stay alive. Those sounds really help let you know what's coming and where and when to dodge. So let's try one of these, for instance, basics. You see how they're all highlighted here? Let's go to basics. The mini-map. So now you know where that is, and you're looking at this. Melee and spells. Oh, okay, there's melee, and there's my spells, and health and stamina. Okay, it explains everything, double jump, blah, blah, blah. Elixirs and shields. Okay. Ammo counter. That's how much ammo I have in the weapon, and that's total amount available. And WITCHFIRE, the amount of WITCHFIRE. So now when I get out of this, I should have done that by now. Let me try it again. Usually it goes away. I wonder why it didn't. Usually that asterisk goes away. I've done this about 20 times. There it goes. Now you know you've gone over everything in the basics of the HUD. And of course, there's exploration, combat, and calamities. All right, let's continue. Climb down to the Hermatorium. Now you might think, well, how am I going to get back? You can climb right back up if you want. So, like I was saying, you want some trigger time with a new weapon, or you want to explore something. Now that you go back, you're going to have many more enemies to deal with. See, they put more out here for you to practice with. So I think that's a really cool thing. So, okay. And it's a good place to gain WITCHFIRE, kills for, to earn Mysteriums and things like that. All right. So now we're back at the Hermatorium. And let's see what's new here. Looks like we've got a note. Elias Discovery note. That's new. And there's going to be some beads here we're going to want to pick up. Here's another rosary bead. Melee recharge bead 1. Okay. And there really hasn't been a whole lot that changed in here. But if you all have all this, I think the Wellspring absorb manifestation increases maximum health. That's a pretty good one to have. I mean, I don't use it, but you have your collector. And here you're going to have a note about getting in the sanctuary, having the key, which if you did what I did, like you're starting at a level you're already into, you'll have one. Stranger's gift note. Okay, and here's a gift here. Look at this supply. That's quite a good assortment of things. Plus, some WITCHFIRE. Nifty. Here's a note for about the broken mirror, and then now we will be able to assemble the workshop mirror using the 3 mirror shards we've acquired. Now this is where it gets good, because now, even though I'm at level 1, Gnosis 4, I can communicate with the workshop. What it did was it gives you a lot more control over crafting guns and stuff now and researching. It's so much better. For instance, a medium range weapon. The Nemesis is brand new to this game. I can get it now. I couldn't get it before. I have a bunch of gold and shit. That's why that took me 2 seconds. But now I have that weapon. Okay, so this is a great new thing that they've come up with, and they've categorized them so you don't have to go in order. Like, let's say I want ice stiletto. I don't have to go through all these to get it now. It's just much, much better. Here's another rosary bead. And one more. At this time, we're going to try to attune our rosary. Here's how this works. Rosary is basically an endgame thing. You collect all these beads, and you can use 5 at a time now. Well, more later. There'll be other slots that open up. And when you transfer the bead over here, whatever it says is automatically added to your attributes. So if you were like a serious hardcore running gunner, you'd want a lot of melee and stuff like that. That's what you would focus on putting over here. So here's a health bead 1. I have 10% more health. Let's do the melee recharge bead. Uh-oh, I can't. Why? Because it shows me in parentheses what I have under flesh. I only have 9 points. I need 20. Once I reach that, then I could move this bead over. So it's pretty simple. Nifty. Okay. Moving right along, this is the area that we do our prophecies. And as you notice, only 3 are filled. 4 open slots now. That's because to get 2 more open slots, we need to go to Gnosis 5. So that's what we're going to do now. Nothing much else down here has changed, but studying Gnosis is way better. It's explains things really well, and it's a little more visual now. So let's go ahead and go to Gnosis 5. Delving deeper into Gnosis has consequences. Are you sure? I am ready. Ooh, nifty. You can now raid Iron Gate Castle's Witch's Vault. Additional rosary slot unlock. Additional Fallen Prayer can be bound. 2 additional prophecy slots unlock. Enemies drop even more WITCHFIRE. Deeper secrets are unveiled and new possibilities await. But the witch has strengthened her defenses. Yeah, they're not kidding. It gets a lot tougher. So let's go back and check this out. We have 2 more slots open now, so we can put whatever we want in there. I don't really care, whatever. Just for the sake of argument, I'm going to put those in. So we have Workshop 2.0, Gnosis difficulties, new slots for Arcana. There's new weapons. There's a 3 weapon pack that I already put the video out on, so check that out, please. And the Rosary. Not to mention the multi-layered town, Velmorn, and it's sick. Here's the brand new Ascension Shrine. This is kind of the last big thing I wanted to talk about here. There are 6 categories and 6 groups. When you hover over any of these, and the groups, increases health, increases resistance to elemental ailments, reducing their duration. What that means is if you're on fire, you have more resistance to it and it doesn't last as long. So it'll tell you. Weapon handling and reload speed. I think there's a patch coming out like soon, tomorrow I hope, because this is all frigged up. The reload speed on the second slot is down to nothing, and everything's been pushed back a little too much. So that's got to be changed. Anyway, let me give you an example how this works now. We are going to go to our arsenal. Do you see how at level 2 we went to 129 handling, 13 reserve, 36 range? Okay. Let's try this here. 17, 18, 19. Oh, did you see Vigor just come into play? As you go, they will expand. So it's not just weapon handling. As they get larger, some other things bleed over. I think stamina comes into play soon. Oh, blessed aim. There's some stamina. You see how that works. And they all are kind of like that. Be advised, when you go for Arsenal at first, you're going to get the 3 in the Arsenal group. Only later, as you progress up, as you can see, stamina, vigor, blessed aim, things like that come up. So let's ascend. And that's how that works. Each time you ascend, the witch reshapes her defenses. Enemies, traps, and other dangers shift positions along with chests and treasures. This is true. So you might go to the next map and be like, it's harder. It's not harder. It feels harder, but it's not. The difficulty never changed, but the way the witch arranged the defenses did. If you don't like it, you can always come back and eat a placebo pill. A placebo pill fakes the ascension, tricking any witch into reorganizing her defenses. So come back, take it right before you go onto the map, then off you go. It'll switch it up again. All right, so you're all excited. You think you're Billy Badass. You're getting ready to go into Velmorn. You run down here, and there it is, and you click on it, and guess what? You don't get to go anywhere. Why? Because you need a chart. And Gnosis 1, which I'm assuming you probably already have. If you don't, you got to get Gnosis 1 and the chart. Well, where's that? Took me like 20 minutes to find the damn thing. It's in Island of the Damned. I'm sorry, I'm kidding. It's in Scarlet Coast. And it's sort of behind the windmill. If you go off the cliff over there, if you're familiar with Scarlet, there's a body of water there, the ocean or whatever. It's on a rock over in that area. So I believe somebody will lead you to it from the witch's hut there now. I don't know, but I just happened to find it. I checked by the water, and there she was. So that's going to wrap up the all-new onboarding experience and new features for the game WITCHFIRE. This is the biggest and best update yet. If you're on the fence, now's the time. It's going to even get better from here, because now the astronauts have allowed themselves more room to grow with how they've set things up here. So if you're a beginner, good luck. If you have any problems or questions, you can always ask me or check out any of my videos. And there's probably something on the best guns or something, which is hunger. But, you know, to each his own. So good luck with everything, and welcome to the Webgrave update. It's here to stay, and it rocks. I've been happy to serve y'all. I am Joey. This is Anti-Hero Gaming, and I will see y'all soon.